What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome to Fresh Comic Stories. Guys, this is the channel that we basically sit down and cover different kinds of comic book stories, from Marvel to DC to even IDW. Now, today, we are going to jump back over to DC Comics. The reason why is because one of you guys out there asked me to cover more Flash content. And so I felt like we should do that in this video. And so today we are going to cover the Flash versus Aquaman one shot. Now this took place back in the 1980s possibly, but this one shot was written by Mark Waid. And guys, this story is a pretty good one shot story. So I do hope you enjoy this. And if you do, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. But let's dive into the one shot where Aquaman and the Flash actually fight each other. We pick up with Wally West on a cruise ship with Linda Park. And I want to mention, at this point in DC Comics, these two have not become a couple just yet. They are more in the talking phase right now. This is Mark Waid slowly building up what we are going to see down the road, seeing these two becoming a couple and then having children as well. We see that Wally West is having a hard time being stuck on a ship, mainly because he is unable to run around like he usually does when he's out there being the Flash. Now Mark Waid quickly switches over to the main point of this story. That is when we see a bunch of whales appear out of nowhere. And at first, it seems like a beautiful moment for everyone on the ship. That is when you have the whales start attacking the ship. And since Wally does not have enough room to run around or even get a head start, he is unable to save the people on the ship. And you see the whales crash the ship on a nearby island. Just like that, you have Wally West get knocked out thanks to the ship crashing on a nearby island. Before he gets knocked out, he sees Aquaman in the far distance, telling him that Aquaman was the one controlling the whales. Now, when Wally West wakes back up, he's all tied up and being held hostage alongside some other people. Then he also sees other people working in the distance. But that is when he sees who is in charge. Her name is Marauder, and she has the ability to control sea animals like Aquaman. But the difference is that she has to use technology to do it because she is just a human being. Something else to point out is she is the second Marauder. She took up the mantle after her brother, and she is also one of those minor characters in DC Comics. This is where we learn why she is on this island. She tells Wally that she is looking for an old crown, the lost crown of Enil, and this crown does not have any ties to Atlantis, but it has the ability to control the 7 seas of the world. And so Marauder was able to use her powers to control fishes to help her search on this island. And when she was calling for fishes, Aquaman also came to her call, because he is half fish and half man, and his half fish side let her being able to control him and make him help search for the crown. Wally wants to stop her, but she is holding too many people hostage, and he has no choice to help her look for the crown. Now Wally West goes down into the underwater part of the island to look for this lost crown. That is when he runs into Aquaman, and Wally can confirm that Aquaman is under the control of Marauder. Flash tells Aquaman to watch out so that he will be able to finish the search for the door to where the crown could be at. Of course, Flash was able to find the door, and you then have Aquaman open the door and they find an underwater temple. Of course, this temple is holding the lost crown. And you have our heroes grab it, and with them having the crown, they have to leave before the underwater temple is flooded. And well, they could be trapped down there. And this does lead into one of the big twists of this whole one-shot story. When Flash and Aquaman get back to the surface and of course show Marine Marauder that they were able to find the crown, so they open up the case and you have Flash and Marine Marauder try to grab the crown. That is when at the very last second you have Aquaman grab the crown. This is where we find out that Marine Marauder never had control over Aquaman, that apparently he has been under the control of Enil, the same person who used to own the crown years ago, stating that Enil called Aquaman because he believes that Aquaman would be a great vessel to use to control the world, stating Enil's soul has been locked inside the crown all this time, and that freaking sucks, man. Of course, this leads to a very short battle between the Flash and Aquaman, where you see Flash struggle for a second to fight against Aquaman, but the fight does get wrapped up very quickly, with the Flash knocking the crown off Aquaman. Supposedly, that stopped everything. Even though earlier we saw Enil was able to control Aquaman when the crown was not even on him, now apparently he cannot control Aquaman anymore. And that leads to Marine Marauder trying to grab the crown and see if she can be used as Enil's new vessel. But she does not see the huge wave coming as everyone gets away. She is killed by the wave, as it seems at the end of this section. And so the story gets wrapped up with Aquaman telling Flash that he will have the whales take the cruise ship to the nearest mainland. You also have Linda Park asking Wally West if he thinks if the Marine Marauder could still be alive. Wally West says there is a very low chance that she could be alive. You didn't have the story shift over to show us her body buried underneath a bunch of rocks underneath water, stating that she is now dead. And guys, this is where we are going to end today's video. So please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read? Well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I will see y'all the next comic book video. Later, guys.